Okay. So first question is, why do you like STEM?
Dang, what a question. Um, why do I like STEM? How long should my answers be?
I don't know, as long as they're short and
As
to the
long as I
point.
want. Okay. So so I think originally, in high school, I my the amount of I liked classes was really dependent on what teachers I had. Like, it probably wasn't much of the class itself, it was probably more of like who was teaching me. So it just turns out that like I got a lot. My STEM teachers were much more friendly, and I got along with them better. So that's why I pursued it in high school. Another reason um, is because I think for STEM classes in high school, again, the grading structure makes a lot more sense. Because for essays, for like English or for history, there's a lot of memorization, which I suck at. For languages, again, memorization, I suck at that. Um, there's just so much that you like aren't in control of. And what I like is taking tests. I like taking tests. I like I like it when I do bad in the class when it's my fault because I didn't study. I don't like it when it's like my fault because they didn't like my analogy in some essay, or because I blanked on this random like fact about women in World War II. Um, I'd much rather it be because I didn't see how to solve a problem. I didn't see how to like apply a formula. Blah 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 blah. So yeah, that's why it connected more with me. And then I stuck with it in college because the STEM classes they're very nice because their grading again is just it's pretty much just tests. Like they say homework's part of it, but it's not part of it because everyone gets 100 on homeworks. And it's just big tests, and that's what I'm a fan of. Um, you go to English class, the grading is much more subjective, and uh, it's too inconsistent for me. Yeah. And I guess a last reason, um, in STEM stuff like seems to make sense. Like there's a justification for everything that happens, particularly in like math, computer science, physics. It's very clear and it's very black and white. I'm not sure if the same thing happens for biology and chemistry. Those are kind of iffy. Those are kind of made up sciences, but yeah, at least for math, physics, yes, that's why I like it.
Okay. I guess you answered why did you go into STEM. So, what advice would you give someone going into STEM?
Dang. Um, hmm. I think it depends what like stage you are. Um, in high school, I would say it's really good that you have an idea of where you want to pursue in the future. I think that's all you need. Um, I think something I would say to high school people is like, don't worry too much and don't compare yourself to other people because in STEM, there's big nerds out there and you'll never be able to compete with them. They're just crazy. So you can't compare yourself to those people, and you can't compare yourself to like um, there's also the other end of the spectrum, uh, and most of us are in the middle, and uh, you should probably base your career choices on like where what you want to do, what you not like because you're better than other people. Uh, in college, I would say, man, STEM is great because well, you hear STEM is great because people make money and it's easy to get a job, right? But that's a big like it's not a big lie, but it's harder than it seems. Like I struggled a lot in college because I thought, hey, I'm CS. I go to Berkeley. People are gonna beg me to work for them. It's gonna be easy peasy. But man, it was hard. And like you really do have to put yourself out there, apply to a ton of stuff, and like you get a lot of rejection and stuff, but that's how it happens to everybody. Don't be too discouraged. And like, even though everyone says like, hey, like super easy to get a job, it's great that you like work and make a ton of money. Like, you just got to take that stuff with a grain of salt. Yeah.
Okay. And what advice would you give someone who hates STEM but has to take a STEM class?
Dang. I would say there's like, yeah, it sucks, man. That would really suck because the STEM classes, like, at least in college, they're full of people who care about it and like already know everything. If you're in a non-STEM major and you have to take a STEM class, it's most likely an introductory course, and it's full of all these big nerdy freshmen who already took it in high school and already know everything, and you have to compete with them when it's something you're not even motivated to study. So like, you know, C's get degrees. Uh, pass no pass. Yeah, you'll be fine. It's fine. The STEM people have the exact same problem because uh, they're forced to take some humanities classes, and like now we're also specialized. It's like it's hopeless on both ends.
Um, have you noticed this changes in the STEM field, and how do you think STEM would change going forward?
Yeah, so I'm going to talk about computer science because that's where I'm focused in. I think what's the most surprising is how many people are doing it. Um, it's really like the size of the CS classes is getting really big. The amount of CS majors is getting really big at all schools, and I think it's kind of scary because you think like, hey, like, oh, there's so many people doing CS. Is there going to be a spot for me? Is there going to be a job for me? Is this major getting way too like saturated? But as I come out into like the working world, it really makes a difference. Like there's so many everyone needs a computer scientist. Like even though there are so many coming out of these colleges, there's a lot of need, and the need is particularly for people that are good. There's lots of computer engineers out there. There's lots of um, there's lots of people who are just like middling. But what jobs are looking for is someone that's like stellar. I'm not stellar. I'm just kind of chilling. But like, man, if you're good and you're passionate and that's what you want to do, there's like a spot for you. You'll be valued. Yeah. So I won't worry about it.
And knowing what you know now, would you still go into STEM?
Knowing what I know now, would I still go into STEM? I think, I think yeah. It's very exciting. I think STEM is pretty general of a field. I would probably still go to computer science, but I think because of like cultural uh, norms and stuff, it is almost like we have to go STEM, right? Um, it's engineering, it's medicine, it's computer science. It's these are like that's kind of what's laid out for you. And I think if I were to pick another job, it would still be within STEM. I'd probably want to be like an orthodontist or something.
A doctor.
Yeah.
uh, how has school or college helped you in your job or wherever you work? I probably should ask that.
Yeah. So I think that's the incredible thing about computer science. I talk to other people and they really don't use anything they learn in school or in college and like what they work on. Like it's completely different, the school skills and the work skills. It's almost like school is just like a test of how well you can learn, or like a test of how much you study or how much work you're willing to put in, rather than a test of what you know. In my field, wow, you really do use what you learn in school like all the time. Use it for the interviews, but you also use it in the work. Like like almost every day I use some concept or some like structure from my introductory courses, and I love it. That's a good part about the field.
Okay, this is on the list, but I'm just gonna ask this. How often do you use calc? Because I hate calc.
Calc,
Yeah.
zero,
Okay,
zero
cool.
calc. I've not touched it one time.
Yeah, I hate calc.
However, in college, a lot of calc,
How
but
many
in my
calc
job, no
classes?
calc. How many calc classes did I take?
Yeah.
Um, so in high school, I did ABBC, and then in college, I took multivariable, and then that's it from a calc perspective. However, a lot of the classes I took, you have to use calc inside of them. Like, I think the two major ones are like, or there's probability that has a lot of calc. There's AI, a lot of calc, and then machine learning, a lot of calc. So, and those are the cool things, which sucks because
Dang.
you're gonna have to do your calc.
I did calc 1, 2, and 3 already, so I think I might be done with just straight calc.
Nice. Yeah. Well, it'll go away eventually.
Okay, well, thanks for the quick interview.
No problem.